to the third annual Embryonic Stem Cell Battle. We hope you're all prepared to show us why you think you're ready.
Here we go. We have our support team, our opposed team, and our judges. Let's have a more round of applause for everyone.
Differential cells that are derived from the inner mass of cells from a human embryo.
Embryonic stem cells have in many ways advanced medicine, but there are several controversies, including ethical ones, surrounding the topic. We're going to explore a few of them momentarily.
So this topic is important to us because we are the next generation of scientists and we are going to change this world. Someday in the future, we're going to make our own decisions about it, and maybe we can solve this problem.
During the debate, the two of us are going to be your moderators. Here's a few things that you should note about the debate setup. We will let you know how much time you have to speak as a side for each case and rebuttal. You may not go over time. If you do, we will stop you. When you hear this sound, ding, you have 30 seconds left. Concerning the crossfire, you can only speak if you raise your hand and you're called on by us. If the questions or responses go off topic, we will stop you.
All right, that's enough for the intro. Let's start with the debate. Support case, you have 4 minutes. Begin.
One main benefit of embryonic stem cells is that they have the potential to cure diseases that before scientists could only control the effects or symptoms of. One important thing about them is, as Tucker mentioned, is that they're pluripotent, meaning that they can differentiate into any type of cell. They can potentially cure any disease that can be fixed by replacing damaged cells.
What Abby is talking about is embryonic stem cell transplant, which is a very promising field of research in embryonic stem cell research. The embryonic stem cell, as you know, has the ability to differentiate into virtually any cell, but we can use this ability to help patients. For example, we can make cells produce insulin, which can help diabetic patients. In 2010, the amount of people diagnosed with diabetes was about 350 million, so this research will impact a large population. It can cure type 1 diabetes and help alleviate the pains of living with type 2 diabetes. In addition, it can help with cancer research, for we can use stem cells, study stem cells, and find, since they're very similar to cancer cells, and use that information to help treat cancer cells. And we can program them to act like immune cells, but can also target cancer cells.
Embryonic stem cell research, like Anna said, can help with medical development a lot. We can help study how cells are able to differentiate and how the special pluripotent ability of embryonic stem cells can help cure diseases. We can study them in a lot of ways. We can study how they're able to replenish dysfunctional cells, and we can study how good cells are made in the body versus bad cells, the difference between them, and how this can lead to cures. Embryonic stem cells can also be used to test drugs for treatment. By using human embryonic stem cells instead of animal cells, you can get more accurate results when testing the toxicity. This is also better for human trials because the patients in the trial will have a better idea of any potential dangers that they could run into when taking the drug.
Stem cell research can help scientists further their understanding of human development. Scientists can study how cells differentiate and develop, which helps them gain a better understanding of pregnancy and what it relates to with the embryo. This could ensure better health for both the mother and the child. It could also help them create possible methods for prevention for birth defects and similar conditions related to cell differentiation in embryos. There has been a general improvement of health conditions and lower rates of miscarriage. Scientists can also better understand the development of sex cells in developing embryos through stem cell research, and this can help them begin the search for a cure for infertility and defective sperm and eggs.
Human embryonic stem cell research would also help the economy and put the U.S. at the front of the international medical field. Stem cells involve many cures for conditions such as neurodegenerative and cardiovascular ailments. The traditional treatments for these diseases are often expensive, and stem cell research could lessen long-term healthcare costs by helping these people get alternative treatments or cures. In addition, people who are cured could find employment and participate in the economy. A study done on New York found that most research facilities and universities in America make money from their innovation and patents. Well, scientists found that these technologies can generate new startups and business opportunities,
and they generate revenue, which benefits the state economies. In addition, the state gets back billions of dollars each year in reduced healthcare costs. The U.S. has also not reached its full potential for stem cell research. The amount of scientists, research facilities, and investments in the U.S. is greater than any other nations. According to the Georgia Institute of Technology, the U.S. is severely underproducing in human embryonic stem cell research. It is critical for the government to fund this research for the U.S. to reach its full potential, which would benefit both the economy and have great medical impacts for citizens.
Opposed cross, you have 2 minutes. Begin.
Yes or no? Embryonic stem cell fraud exists in the world today.
Yes, that does not necessarily reflect on embryonic stem cell research. That is fake embryonic stem cell research.
All right. Yes or no? The average American household makes an income of about $63,800. Is the option of stem cell extraction affordable?
Do you have an answer? Yes. As stem cell research continues, we can find ways to decrease this cost As stem cell research continues, we can find ways to decrease this cost, and if further research is permitted, more cost-friendly opportunities will surface.
You guys stated that using embryonic stem cells can help you with curing stuff like cancer, but are there any written records of it actually curing cancer yet? And if no, because there's such thing called iPS cells, which have already been tested and proven to help cure diseases, such as neurodegenerative diseases in Europe. And like one example could be found in Shinya Yamaraka. And this man had a disease which is slowly neurodegenerative disease, which is slowly making him blind. In inserting iPS cells into him, over the course of a year, his neurodegenerative disease was lowered. And
Can you go to the question? Just go to the
Get to
question.
the question.
Get to the question, Brian.
okay, so yes or no? Has embryonic stem cells have proven to?
That's it. Thank you.
Four minutes to oppose case. Do it again.
Economy plays a big factor when it comes to stem cells. Not only is it unethical, but unaffordable as well. Let's take diabetes, for example. Heritage.org states that 17 million people in America have diabetes. To cure this, you would need 1.7 billion human eggs. At $2,000 an egg, the total cost would be $3.4 trillion. This government money could be spent elsewhere, such as social or public issues. If you're still not convinced, think about it this way. You're a human, right? How much do you think your life costs? Your priceless, right? Now, how would you justify killing billions of priceless lives? You can't.
In addition to being extremely unaffordable, there is no actual proof that using stem cell therapy with embryonic stem cells actually works. In 2010, the Geron Corporation conducted a clinical trial where they injected embryonic stem cells into the spinal cord of 4 patients to see if it would help with their spinal cord injury. After studying them for 1 year, they abruptly stopped the clinical trial. Why? Because from the beginning there were many problems. During preclinical trials, the mice that were being tested on developed tumors that were questioned to be cancerous, and many scientists feared that the stem cells would differentiate into the wrong type of cell, which could be extremely harmful to the vulnerable patients that were being tested on. If there is a worry with such a large corporation and they wasted so much money, so much time, so much effort, and almost 2 million embryonic stem cells, and they left to pursue more promising research in the cancer area, why should we be supporting this?
Okay, so there are many possible alternatives to embryonic stem cell research that do not involve the death of embryos. So one is IPS, or induced pluripotent seed stem cell research, which was discovered by Shinya Yamanaka in 2007. In September of 2014, an elderly woman in her 70s had macular degeneration. They put IPS into her retina, and it was actually a very successful procedure. Her condition did not worsen. Along with that, there's also STAP cells, which is like a phenomenon called stimulus-triggered acquisition of pluripotency, which is discovered by a cooperation through Harvard researchers Charles McConty and Martin McConty and the Riken Center in Japan. So they found out that stem cells, they could turn somatic cells back into stem cells through exposing them to like a stressful condition. And currently, there's still research going on with this.
Overall, there are a lot of cons to stem cell research. From an economic standpoint, it is very expensive, especially for the average person, and this money that is being used could be used for other research in other areas that would be more beneficial. Stem cell research is also subject to fraud. There's a lot of people who need the treatment are spending thousands of dollars and just and the money is all going to these fake clinics. There are also a lot of unknown risks. Short term, there have been a few studies about showing like tumor growth or narrowed arteries, but the long-term implications we just don't know. And by removing embryonic stem cell research, we create endless possibilities and new opportunities from the extra money, more lives saved, more focused research on other more important areas, and a better future. Thank you.
Support class, you have 2 minutes. You may begin.
First question, so by not supporting embryonic stem cell research, are you saying that we should ignore the 5.5 million people who have Alzheimer's, even though it is within our power to help them with embryonic stem cell research?
There is actually no proof that using stem cells there have been no trials with Alzheimer patients that have been using embryonic stem cells, so that question is all theoretical, and we can't base science on all theories. We have to actually prove it.
Can you answer the question?
There can be different methods to treating Alzheimer's, and could be used using IPS, like Heather said, or by changing somatic cells back into pluripotent.
Okay. If you don't want to use the